Hey everybody, Regina Andler here, and welcome to Coffee with Regina. Now, I don't know if it's legal or not. I know where my guest is coming from. It's 3 hours earlier where she is. Where I am, it's afternoon, and so I'm on tea now. So I don't know if that's legal to put tea in my coffee cup.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. And so and so for all of you out there today, and for all of you listening to the replay, this is going to be a really cool conversation if you use Instagram. And even if you don't use Instagram, this is going to be something really cool for you to understand why Instagram is so good. And it's because I have my friend Mishelle Thorpe with me. I did say your last name right?
You
Thorpe?
did, yes.
Perfect. So Mishelle is with me, and Mishelle is, I'm just going to call you the Instagram maven.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Words of my own.
That's a writer downer.
Yeah,
The
it is.
Instagram maven. And so, Mishelle, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And my first question for you, which you can go right into, is going to be, why did you get into Instagram and what you're doing today?
Everyone always asks me that every time I bring up that I do Instagram. People feel the need to defend why they like it or not. And I'm like, hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to help those who really want to get on the platform, because I'm not just someone who went to Instagram school. Is there such a thing? I had skin in the game as well. I started my first job when I was 8 years old. And back in those days, I think it was 1988, 89, and we advertised in the nickel ads. And I don't know if that was a regional publication or if it was nationwide, but it was somewhere that you could, get a puppy and buy an RV and hire Mishelle to write a horoscope for you. I'm not an astrologer. I'm not sure why that was my first business, but that's what I wanted to do. The entrepreneurial bug bit early, even though I had no clients from that experience. It was fine. I loved the idea of running my own business. I had run a couple of smaller businesses here and there over the years, but I found myself in my mid 30s in a dream corporate job, miserable, totally miserable. And I looked around thinking, how did I get here and how can I get out? Not coincidentally, because I don't really believe in coincidences, at that same time, I had an opportunity to start a coaching business, to start something that would be on the side. And I thought, this is it. This could replace my full-time income down the road. This could be really what I want to do. It was 2017, and everyone told me I had to be on Instagram, that Facebook was Facebook, but that Instagram was the best platform to find clients. And I thought, well, that's great, but I don't have an Instagram account. I don't really know how to use it, but I had an account for my bunny. He was getting older at that time, and I thought, his time is over. I'm just going to go in, I'm going to change his profile name to mine. And I'm going to show up to these 150 bunny owners and be like, hey, I'm a coach now. Who wants to hire me? Obviously, my results speak for themselves. And I just kind of sat back and waited for the credit cards to roll in. How many credit cards, Regina, do you think rolled in?
I was just going to say, how'd that work out for you?
No credit cards rolled in. Nobody hired me. And I was like, this is hard. Why is this so hard? Why am I showing up doing the things that feel natural and it's not working? So I was at a crossroads. I could either go back to that corporate job or I could figure out how Instagram marketing really worked. And I did. I got really good at growing a business on Instagram. I grew that business. I was successful in it. I was thinking about leaving my corporate job, but something just didn't feel right. It wasn't it. That wasn't exactly what I was supposed to be doing. And I was watching these other business owners that I was friends with. I spent a ton of time on Instagram, and I watched these other business owners making the same mistakes that I had made. And over 90% of my paying clients are coming from Instagram, and they all wanted to know how I did it. So I decided that's where I'm meant to make the most impact, is other women entrepreneurs and their businesses. And I buttoned up that first business, and I went all in this one. I was able to leave the corporate life in September of 2020, and I have never looked back. I love supporting women entrepreneurs, and I am here to dish out Instagram advice like candy.
I love that story, and there's just so much to it. And and I just saw what was on your cup. Not today,
Kind
Cupid.
of matches what I'm wearing today.
I love it. So when you think about that story, there's so many people who go out and find their dream job in corporate world, and then they end up completely miserable, and
Yeah,
they're like, "Is this all there is?"
yeah,
And not not a lot of them are as engaging and motivated as you were to say, you know what, there's got to be something better than this. I'm going to start
mhm.
looking for it. Some people will just like sit in their corporate misery and just live there. And so
Very.
it's actually your story is a really good point to those who are just sitting there miserable going, hey, knock, knock, there's something else there. You can go do something else. Now, not saying just, drop the corporate job and move on.
Right.
You started kind of part time, kind of
Yeah.
fell into it. And I just love as you were saying it, I was like, I'm a big energy fan, law of attraction fan, which is all energy, so the universe, it's all energy, and just how things played out.
Yeah.
And you fell into that space that you're in today
Oh,
because
absolutely.
that was where you were meant to be.
Mhm.
So I
Now, I
love that
mean,
story.
I I'm sure that I won't retire. I won't, finish my working life as an Instagram coach. Instagram may not be here to stay, right? I mean, if I was a MySpace coach back in the day, I'd be out of a job now. But
True.
for now, I think I know, well, I don't think, I know that my calling is to help support women in business, help support women solopreneurs, help them see that they can do this, right? And they can do it authentically. That's what sets me apart from a lot of other Instagram marketing coaches is that I don't subscribe to traditional like bro type marketing. I'm not aggressively salesy. I'm not someone else. I am myself in my business all the time. And I know a lot of women feel like they can't do that because we're softer. We are not as we feel and we are told that to get the sale, you have to ask for it. We have to be aggressive. We have to be posting every single day. We have to be following up. We have to be saying, do you want to buy this? Here it is. Buy it, buy it, buy it. And that didn't feel right to me. So I found a different way. And it brings me so much joy to show other women that they can do it differently too.
Yeah, and I'm here chuckling right now because that's what I teach. I teach relationship marketing.
Yes.
And that's what relationship organic marketing is all about is I never sell anything. I just show up, provide value, and
Yeah.
then those who resonate with me who go, "Wow, you know what? Here's what I'm doing and based on what I know about you, I think your program is the right program for me." They just say, "Where can I sign up?" I don't have to shove anything down anybody's throat or anything like that. And that was actually how I ended up where I am now as well from that sales standpoint. Because back in the day, I had that same mindset that if you were a business owner, it was all about, keep poking their pain and keep telling them they have to buy your stuff. That's how you make sales. And I was
I
like,
even hate that
that's
terminology.
right.
Oh,
It doesn't feel right. And
no.
so I just like, I stepped back every single time I even thought about doing that. I was like, if that's what I have to do, I will never own a business because
Mhm,
I
mhm.
know it doesn't feel right. It feels like, every time I talk to somebody, I have to go take a shower. you
Yes.
know, it
And
feels bad.
if we're going to be uncomfortable, we might as well do it for someone else's company when there's a check every 2 weeks and insurance and vacation time and all of that stuff. If we're going to put ourselves on the line and run our own business, y'all, we have to like what we're doing and it has to feel good. We have to walk away from our desk feeling like we made a difference. And otherwise, why are we even here?
Right. Exactly. So I'm going to tell you right out, and I know you and I have chatted before. I have an Instagram account and
Yeah.
I post stuff through Meta to my Instagram account. I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram.
Yeah, it's okay.
However, however, so because I'm going to poke your brain for some things here that would
Yes.
be, very valuable for folks listening, which is, the first thing is why Instagram? So, a lot of my audience hangs out on Facebook. Facebook
Mhm.
has billions of people who
Oh,
hang
yeah.
out there.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
know Instagram has a lot too.
Yeah.
I have been told, and I don't know for sure because I don't know what the stats are, and you probably do, that if you're a coach or a consultant, Instagram is kind of the place to go because there's a huge marketplace there.
It
So, can you
is.
tell a little bit about that?
It really I believe it is 100%. Now, I will say this, if Instagram is a platform that for whatever reason makes you uncomfortable, actually uncomfortable, that you aren't willing to learn different strategies around, don't be on Instagram, right? I'm not one that believes that you have to have a presence on every platform. I'm not on TikTok anymore. I'm not on Facebook. I'm kind of on LinkedIn, but Instagram is where that's my playground. That's where I hang out the most. And you're right, Instagram has more daily average users than TikTok. To be honest with you, that may have changed in the very
Hmm,
end, the very beginning of the year, but they don't run that statistic every single day. But the last time they did, Instagram was still beating TikTok as far as average daily users. And why I think Instagram is so fantastic is it's much simpler to get in front of more people than it is on Facebook. I feel like you can spend less time and get better results than you can on Facebook.
interesting. And so, for me personally, it's not that Instagram doesn't feel right to me. It's literally it's unknown to me.
Yeah.
So it's more of the okay, I don't have time to go learn this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, However, I know you, and that's kind of what you did. You created this strategy because I've seen your free guide that you give out.
Yeah.
Is that you have this stuff that makes it just really super simple, and
Yeah.
it's yeah. I think me like other people when we go into a new platform, we tend to make it harder than it actually really is.
Yes, absolutely. And there I hear all the time there's competing information. You'll hear one thing from Instagram and then I'll tell you something completely different. For example, hashtags. There was some kind of interaction that one of the Instagram execs had with, the public. And they said that 3 to 5 hashtags per post was really all you should be doing. That more didn't help you or, whatever. It was pretty vague and kind of odd for them to come out with something like that since they allow you to use up to 30. So why would they then say only use 3 to 5? Like, this is really odd. And so I looked deeper into it and I found a study, an actual study was done on 18 million posts around the exact same time that found that that was untrue, that you should be using 20 to 30 hashtags per post for best results. And that affirmed how I was running my business and what I teach my clients. I teach them to use 20 to 30 as well. Now,
Hmm.
you don't have to sit and think of different hashtags every single day. That is extremely time consuming. And that is a mistake that a lot of people are making. Every time they post, they're like, oh, wow, I need to come up with something different. Or they're doing the opposite and they're using the same hashtags every single day. You don't want to do any of that. What you do want to do is think about how often you, on average, post per week. For me, it's 3. That's what I teach my clients. It's what seems to work the best. 3 posts that are that are just so packed with value that resonate with your audience with the right hashtags will get you more traction than posting every single day. Write that one
Hmm.
down. But so you post 3 times, say you're posting 3 times a day. Have a different hashtag set for Monday, for Wednesday, for Friday, and then repeat the next week. So you've done the work once and then you don't have to do it again.
So use the same hashtags. Different days have different hashtags. It's a rinse and repeat though. So the
Yeah.
following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's the same thing. Okay, I
Mhm.
understand that.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that somebody had told me about before. I don't know if you know the app or not. It's called Smart Hash. That
No, I haven't heard of that one specifically, but there's a lot out there
yeah,
that are
it supposedly creates hashtags for
mhm,
you. And have you used any of those hashtag generators? And
mhm.
are they really necessary?
No. Stay away from the hashtag generators. I now I haven't found one yet that I would give my stamp of approval on. And it's not because I want you to buy my hashtag course or training. It's because they literally, all the ones that I've ever tried are recommending based on the number of uses. And they give you a list. Say, here's your top 10 for fitness, and fitness is the top. Fitness is a hashtag that no one in the fitness industry should ever use. It's too overused. If you if you're in the fitness industry and you use hashtag fitness, I don't know off the top of my head, say it has 15 million uses. Your post is only going to be seen by the sugar daddies and the bots that are hanging out, refreshing and waiting for new content so they can go and post a spammy comment to try and get attention. It's not going to get you seen by your ideal client.
You know, you're pointing out some things from me because, like I said, I'm not on Instagram a lot, and I do Monday through Friday. I have a positive quote of the day that I post out, and I post it on my Facebook groups. And like I said, I use Meta to
Yeah.
post it, and it goes to Instagram as well. And I have gotten those messages from the people who are like, putting the spam stuff in, and
Mhm,
then
mhm.
I've had to go in
Promoted
and
on blah, blah, blah.
yeah, I had to go and remove it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, this is irritating. And so now
Mhm.
at least I know where that's coming from. And um, yeah, I pretty much use, other than the theme itself, that the rest of the hashtags are kind of static. And so I'm thinking maybe I need to change some of mine up to be seen more. And
Yes,
so
yes.
my question for you is is Instagram like Facebook with the AI in the background that's like, sh- uh, depending on what you put out there, it shows it to more people or less people? Or is it just what you post, people see?
I can't speak for Facebook, but I can speak for Instagram. There is an algorithm,
Mhm.
that determines who sees your posts, blah, 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 blah. There are so many people out there trying to teach folks how to outsmart the algorithm, but it's really actually pretty simple. Don't be spammy, right? Don't post the same thing all the time. Don't engage in spammy behavior. Post content that resonates with your target audience.
Hmm.
Be consistent and post when the majority of your audience tends to be online. Now, if that doesn't work for you, post when is best for you. Post when you are going to be online. Although, try not to post at like midnight if that's not when your audience is online. But they're really so many people spend money trying to outsmart the algorithm when really they just need to look inward on what they're sharing, and the algorithm will take care of itself by and large. Sometimes it happens to me too, when and it's usually when Instagram is making some kind of big platform change and they're doing something on the back end that we're not privy to, and it kind of messes things up. If you watch your insights, you'll
Mhm.
know when that's happening. And then when you've got a good baseline, when you know that you're adding value, when you see those numbers corresponding to those posts that are adding value, you know where you're supposed to be. And you just have to
Mm.
figure it out. But true algorithm issues are pretty short term.
Gotcha. So if you're somebody who's like me, that I'm spending most of my time on Facebook because I have my Facebook groups, and then for my course I have a private group that is clients only,
Yeah.
and then I have my business page. So most of my audience stuff is out there. However, like I said, I've been told, and you're confirming that there's a large audience on Instagram. So when does it make sense to say, you know what, I'm just going to hire a VA or somebody to deal with Instagram for me and just make sure that I have a presence on Instagram?
That's a really difficult question. Um, I've never hired a VA. I mean, I think it would be weird if the Instagram expert didn't do it herself. Um, and I don't do social media services. I don't manage that for people, but I can speak generally that if your business growth isn't where you want it to be, if you are not booked with the number of clients that you want to be booked for, and you're only on, say, Facebook, or maybe you are spending most of your time on TikTok, then it would make sense to bring in another platform. But don't do it if you or the person that you hire to do it for you isn't able to do it consistently. I'm not saying that you need to spend 4 hours a day on the platform at all. I don't. Some days I don't even open it. But in general, what I teach my clients, do as I say, not as I do, is around an hour a day can get you tremendous results.
Yeah.
And that you don't
I,
have to be militant around it. It doesn't have to be every single day. I take weekends off, and I recommend my clients do as well. But during the week, that can get you major results.
yeah, that's great advice. This has been jam-packed full of great advice. I just had an idea though for you, because I'm thinking, so as a business owner, as somebody who teaches, sit in the CEO chair.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting in my CEO chair, I'm not posting anywhere. I'm not even on Facebook. Somebody else is handling that stuff.
Yeah.
A challenge for me in the past, because I have hired some VAs for even like Facebook and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
is that they're not all really that good. And it's really hard to find a good VA. And I was just thinking that those people who are the VAs that want to help business owners like myself on those platforms would be great clients for you, so you could teach them
Mm-hmm.
how to do it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. I struggle with recommending. People will say, "Well, you don't do it. Can you recommend someone who does?" But I feel that it's difficult for you to guide someone else how to speak for your business when you don't know how to speak for your business yourself. When you don't know what content is going to resonate with your audience, how are you expecting someone else to come up with that? It's your business is different than every other business in the same industry. Take the time to learn it yourself, and then have someone else do it for you, or have a VA who's been trained by me, and which so far there haven't been any. But if there is one, I would be happy to recommend them to you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that might be a good side thing for you for clients, is those VAs to reach out to them, because I know they need help. And you're absolutely right, because that's one of the things that I teach my client base from a business strategist standpoint is, I'm teaching them how to actually build the business and everything. Instagram and posting is one piece. That's
Yes.
a piece of the marketing.
Yeah.
And the thing is that whole concept of sitting in the CEO chair, you can't sit in the CEO chair and just outsource everything unless you have systems in place.
Amen.
So you're talking about, yeah, you need to know what you're going to post. You need, what the frequency is going to be, who the client market is, do some A/B
Mhm.
testing, figure
Mhm.
out what works and what doesn't work before you can get out of that and hire somebody else to do it. Because if you don't have a system to give them, they're just going to post and you're just throwing money out the window.
Exactly. Exactly. If
Hmm.
you're uh, i- if you're not Target or Taylor Swift, people don't know your business yet, right? And you need to know how to speak for your business before you have someone else do it for you. Yeah, you can hire someone to give you a branding kit, to recommend fonts and colors, and do the graphic design piece for you. That's something else that I do for clients who don't need or want the strategy piece. But when it comes to deciding what goes on your feed, the words, the content of the video, you need to be calling those shots, at least initially, until someone knows your business as well as you do. Because
Right.
what you post on Instagram, what you share is more important than how it's shared. So many business owners think, oh, Reels is where it's at. I'm just going to constantly push out Reels. And they're surprised when they don't see growth, or not the right growth. They're surprised when they don't see their business take off, because you can't just put out crap Reels and expect great results. But people like, I'm not big on video. I'll say that. People think that's weird. I don't post video, I post static images, and I get really great results because I'm posting quality content. It's not that it's the best photo anyone's ever seen, or the very best designed thing anyone's ever seen. It's that it resonated with them and it helped them more than a reel of you dancing and pointing around the screen at like, words that don't really matter. What you post on Instagram is so much more important than how it's posted.
Once again, I'm standing over here chuckling because just today I watched like 3 reels of people that I know that are in business, and they were literally on reels pointing at lettuce, dancing around, going.
I thought we passed that trend. So I thought we got over that. But
and all I could think was, wow, they need help. Because
and I say that with love, because
yeah.
those business owners have seen that on other people's accounts and they think, oh, that's a good idea. That's funny. That's cute. Or they've been told by so-called experts that that works. And if it's working for you because that aligns with your business and is perfectly authentically you, and you're actually delivering content inside that dancey pointing message, good for you. For most business owners, it's going to fall flat. You're going to be disappointed that you spent all that time creating that content and that you put it out there and it didn't do anything for you.
Yeah. I teach people about the 5 different categories of posts. The credibility posts, the vulnerability posts.
Yeah, me too.
All the different types of posts, and then there's the value posts, which I can see if there's personality posts. I can see one of the reels of dancing around. If the goal of that reel is to help people who don't know you get to know you, and the know, like, trust, and learn who you are, and maybe some of your personality quirks and that kind of thing, so they can get to go, oh wow, she's so much fun, she looks like so much fun. Then if that's the purpose of the post, it's like, okay, from a business standpoint, if it's a value post, to me it needs to have more meat to it. It
Yeah,
needs
more substance.
it needs to be a little bit better crafted in the content, because once you get to the value posts, the goal really there is to provide that value and have somebody walking away going, wow, that was a great tip Mishelle just gave me. I'm going to implement that.
Yeah.
When somebody walks away and they're like, I'm going to go implement that today, that you hit the mark,
Exactly. 100%. And that's where Instagram is a little bit different, and they give you a really cool outlet for those dancing videos or for that personality stuff. And that's Instagram stories. Instagram stories that's the 24-hour thing that they originally stole from Snapchat that has actually stuck. That it's 24 hours. You can post whatever you want there. That's where interested followers go to get to know more about you. That's not where you're going to find new followers. That is content to nurture your current audience. It's less scripted. It can be grittier. I'm not a big fan of filters anyway, but unfiltered, just this is me. This is what I'm doing today. Here's what I had for lunch, because that doesn't go on your feed. Here's what my cat's doing today, because that doesn't go on your feed. On Instagram, your feed posts function a little bit differently. Each one of them is, I use the metaphor of a billboard on the highway. And if you are driving down the road and you look over and you wouldn't put what you're about to post on your feed on a billboard on the highway, put it in your Instagram stories. It doesn't belong on your feed. We want your feed to be the best representation of your business. We want each of those feed posts to be a high quality billboard for your business. Everything else can go into Instagram stories. I love that they give us that outlet so that we don't feel the need to post random stuff on our feed just so people get to know who the heck we are.
I just wrote that down. I really love that analogy of the billboard.
Yes,
because that really
helps me think about it.
Yeah, it's if you wouldn't want it splashed across the billboard for the world to see, then don't put it there. Now, just quick, because we're running out of time here. Tell me just a little bit about the Instagram stories, because I know Instagram. Again, I'm not on there a lot. I know that I've seen people who post the videos and stuff like that. I don't even know what Instagram stories is.
Instagram stories is a place where you can post anything, either videos or images. They have really fun interactive stickers. It's a fantastic place to engage with your audience. Ask yes or no questions, simple things that they can interact with, and then start a conversation. They can get to know you better. That is the perfect place to start connecting as humans versus trying to use a feed post for that. Someone who doesn't know you and sees a personal type post, they're going to move along because they think, oh, that's Regina's personal account. I don't know her. That's not for me. But if you post that content in your stories, and you can post to stories the same place that you post on your feed, you just select stories instead of feed, or you can tap on your profile photo and it goes straight to the stories menu.
Huh. Very interesting. I love that. This has been like jam packed. This little chat has
I'm
been
so
jam
glad.
packed full of
Yay.
information. This has been fabulous. And I mean, you talk about where you came from and where you went into, and it's like you lived through it, and it was trial and error and
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
and to find out what really works. And
Yeah.
that's what makes a really good coach, is that it's the person who's been there, done that,
Yep.
screwed it all up, and then figured out how to make it work and work better.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's exactly what you've done. So I'm sure that your clients who are looking to learn Instagram and how to work it. I mean, even if it's just a temporary thing, so that you could build your system, so that you
Yeah.
can outsource it later and figure out what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Um, Extremely valuable information.
Thank
And
you so much. I'm glad this was helpful.
yeah. And so I know you have some stuff. So I know you have programs. I know you have it's the document that you showed me that we have. Is that a freebie? Is that
It is. Yep. It's
it
100%
is.
free. It lives in my Instagram bio. Folks can go and grab that. It's my favorite piece of content that I've ever put out in any of my business years. So everyone should go grab it. It's 10 free strategies to get noticed on Instagram, plus 10 bonus content ideas that will help you turn your followers into paying clients.
So 10 free strategies to get noticed on Instagram. I didn't spell strategies correctly.
That's okay.
So 10 free strategies to get noticed on Instagram. And where do they find this?
They can go find me on Instagram. I'm easy to find, Mishelle.Thorpe. Tap the link in my bio, and I think it's the first option there. It's obvious. You'll see it.
What if people don't know exactly about how is that at Mishelle.Thorpe? Is that how it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I did that right. And especially because when people think Mishelle, they do MICH and yours is SH. So we want to
I
make sure
spelled my
that
name with a CH yesterday and knew it was time to call it a day.
when you spell your own name
You
wrong,
got it. I spelled my name wrong.
that's too funny.
It's a long day.
So, yeah. So when you think about the stuff that you've got there, is there a landing page or someplace where people can download that document, or do they just go to Instagram?
Yes, there is a landing page, but www blah 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 blah.
So going to find you on
Yes.
Instagram is so much easier.
Yes.
For everybody who's listening and listening to the replay, because I know there's a lot of folks who always listen to the replays on these, go out and just go to Instagram, check out Mishelle's information. And remember, it's Mishelle, and download this free guide, because I've seen this guide. I've seen the information that's in it. It's absolutely amazing. And it makes it so simple. So if you're looking at Instagram going, I don't know, it's a new platform, I don't have time for this. Literally, her document goes, do this, check, 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 done.
Don't do this.
And it says don't do this. Yes, and it has what not to do. That's why I absolutely love it. And then folks can get to know you and see what you do. And then folks that are looking to get more entrenched into that Instagram world, check out Mishelle's stuff. Now you have is it an ongoing program? Is it a coaching program? What is your program?
I do private coaching that's available whenever I've got space, starting, all the time. I have a group coaching program that runs 2 to 3 times a year. I've also got other ways that folks can learn from me. I've got some trainings up on my website, some design templates. If you aren't great at graphic design, but you want your Instagram and your lead magnets to look great, I can do that for you. Either templates or I can create something just for you. I've got that available too. All kinds of ways that I can help you with Instagram are available on my website.
And what's the website?
MichelleThorpe.com.
MichelleThorpe.com. 10. See, this is what I get when I'm trying to type and talk at the same time. When people talk about walking and chewing gum,
It's
saying.
yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did I spell that right?
Yes, you did.
Because this is all going into the chats.
Perfect.
Underneath this. So folks can go and connect and check out Mishelle, check out her information, download that free guide, because I'm telling you, it's the coolest guide for Instagram that I've ever seen. So
thank you so much. Oh, I love to hear that.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time today. And this has been a great conversation.
Demystify this platform and especially encourage women that you can do it. You can rock your business. And I'm here to support you every step of the way on Instagram.
I love that. I was just going to ask you if you had any final words, and that was just perfect. So thanks everybody for joining us for a cup and a chat with purpose. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.